The Supermarine Spitfire was more than just a fighter aircraft. It became a national symbol of British resistance during World War II. Designed by R.J. Mitchell, the Spitfire first flew in 1936 and entered service with the Royal Air Force in 1938, just in time for the coming storm in Europe. What made the Spitfire unique was its sleek elliptical wing design. This wasn't done for looks. It reduced drag, improved speed, and gave the aircraft exceptional turning ability. Powered initially by the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, later variants used the even more powerful Griffon engine, allowing the Spitfire to remain competitive throughout the entire war. During the Battle of Britain in 1940, the Spitfire worked alongside the Hawker Hurricane. While Hurricanes tackled bombers, Spitfires primarily engaged German fighters like the Messerschmitt Bf 109. Its agility allowed RAF pilots to dogfight effectively at high altitude, something the Luftwaffe struggled to counter. The aircraft evolved continuously, from early Mk1 versions, armed with 8 303 machine guns, to later models carrying cannons, rockets, and improved armor. The Spitfire adapted to every role: interceptor, fighter-bomber, reconnaissance aircraft, and even carrier-based operations. By war's end, over 20,000 Spitfires had been built, serving not only Britain but allied nations worldwide. The Spitfire proved that smart engineering, adaptability, and pilot confidence could change the course of aerial warfare forever. The Messerschmitt Bf 109 was the backbone of the German Luftwaffe and one of the most produced fighters in history. Designed by Willy Messerschmitt, it first flew in 1935 and immediately proved revolutionary. Compact, fast, and heavily armed, the Bf 109 emphasized climb rate and acceleration. Its Daimler-Benz inline engine gave it a narrow nose, improving aerodynamics and visibility during combat. Early versions dominated the skies over Poland, France, and during the opening stages of the Battle of Britain. However, the aircraft had weaknesses. Its narrow landing gear caused frequent accidents, and later Allied fighters slowly surpassed it in range and handling. Still, Germany constantly upgraded the Bf 109 with stronger engines, heavier weapons, and improved armor. Many of the world's top-scoring fighter racers, including Erich Hartmann, flew the Bf 109, racking up hundreds of aerial victories. Despite facing newer Allied aircraft later in the war, it remained deadly in skilled hands. By 1945, over 33,000 units had been produced, making it the most manufactured fighter aircraft of World War II. The P-51 Mustang changed the air war over Europe forever. Initially underpowered, the aircraft transformed into a legend once fitted with the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. Its greatest strength was range. For the first time, Allied bombers could be escorted all the way to Berlin and back. This destroyed the Luftwaffe's ability to intercept bombers effectively. Fast, agile, and heavily armed with 650 caliber machine guns, the Mustang dominated late-war air combat. It also excelled in ground attack roles. By the end of World War II, the P-51 was feared by German pilots and loved by Allied crews. The Focke-Wulf FW-190 was one of the most feared and respected fighter aircraft of World War II. When it first appeared over the English Channel in 1941, Allied pilots were shocked. Until that moment, the British Spitfire had largely matched or outperformed German fighters, but the FW-190 changed everything almost overnight. Designed by Kurt Tank, the FW-190 was built with a completely different philosophy compared to the Messerschmitt Bf 109. Instead of an inline engine, it used a powerful BMW radial engine, which gave the aircraft exceptional durability and performance at low and medium altitudes. This engine also allowed the aircraft to absorb more battle damage and still bring its pilot home. One of the FW-190's greatest strengths was its firepower. Early versions carried multiple machine guns and cannons, delivering devastating bursts that could destroy enemy aircraft in seconds. Allied pilots often reported that a single hit from an FW-190 was enough to cripple their planes. In terms of handling, the FW-190 was stable, fast, and deadly. Its wide landing gear made takeoffs and landings much safer than the Bf 109, reducing training accidents and increasing pilot confidence. The cockpit layout was also pilot-friendly, offering excellent visibility and ergonomics. During 1941 and 1942, the FW 190 dominated air combat over Western Europe. Spitfire Mk5 pilots found themselves outclassed in speed, roll rate, and firepower. This forced the British to rush improved Spitfire variants into service, beginning a new phase of the aerial arms race. The FW-190 wasn't limited to air-to-air combat. It proved extremely effective as a fighter bomber, attacking Allied ground forces, vehicles, airfields, and shipping. Its rugged construction allowed it to survive intense ground fire, making it ideal for close air support missions. Later in the war, Germany developed the FW-190D9, known as the Dora, which featured a longer nose and a more powerful engine. This variant was designed to counter high-altitude Allied fighters like the P-51 Mustang. While dangerous in skilled hands, it entered service too late and in too few numbers to change the outcome of the war. The Focke-Wulf FW-190 was loved by German pilots and feared by its enemies. Versatile, powerful, and adaptable, it remains one of the finest fighter aircraft designs of World War II. The Macchi C-202 Folgore, meaning Thunderbolt, was Italy's most respected fighter of World War II and one of the finest Axis aircraft of the early 1940s. Designed by Mario Castaldi, the Folgore represented a dramatic leap forward from earlier Italian fighters that were often underpowered and lightly armed. The C-202 was powered by the Daimler-Benz DB601 engine, built under license in Italy. This engine transformed the aircraft, giving it excellent speed, climb rate, and high-altitude performance. Unlike many Italian planes before it, the Folgore could finally compete head-to-head with British Spitfires and American fighters. Aerodynamically, the aircraft was beautifully designed. Its sleek fuselage and narrow wings made it fast and responsive. Italian pilots praised its handling, especially in turning dogfights, where it could outmaneuver many Allied opponents. However, the Folgore had weaknesses. Its armament was relatively light, typically two 12.7mm machine guns, making it harder to quickly destroy heavily armored enemy aircraft. Despite this, skilled Italian pilots achieved impressive kill ratios in North Africa and the Mediterranean. The Macchi C-202 proved that Italy could design world-class fighters when given the right engine and resources. It remains one of the most elegant fighters of World War II. The WWII D520 was France's most advanced fighter at the outbreak of World War II. Entering service just before the German invasion in 1940, it was one of the few French aircraft capable of matching the Messerschmitt Bf 109 in speed and maneuverability. Powered by a Hispano-Suiza engine, the D520 featured a sleek design, enclosed cockpit, and heavy armament for its time, including a 20mm cannon firing through the propeller hub. French pilots found it stable, accurate, and effective in dogfights. During the Battle of France, D520 pilots achieved respectable success despite being outnumbered and often poorly coordinated. After France's defeat, the aircraft continued to fly with Vichy French forces and later with the Free French and even German training units. The D520 showed what French aviation could achieve under pressure. Though it arrived too late to change history, it earned lasting respect among pilots on both sides. The Curtiss P-40 Warhawk was one of the most widely used American fighters of World War II. Though often overshadowed by later aircraft like the P-51 Mustang, the P-40 played a critical role during the early years of the war. Known as the Tomahawk and Kitty Hawk in British service, the P-40 became famous with the Flying Tigers in China. Its rugged construction allowed it to survive heavy damage, making it ideal for harsh environments like deserts and jungles. While it lacked high-altitude performance, the P-40 excelled at low and medium altitudes. Its powerful nose-mounted engine gave it strong diving speed, allowing pilots to use boom and zoom tactics against more maneuverable enemy fighters. The Warhawk served on nearly every front, from North Africa to the Pacific. Though not perfect, it was reliable, tough, and available in large numbers when the Allies needed fighters the most. The Bell P-39 Airacobra was one of the most unusual fighters of World War II. Its engine was mounted behind the pilot, driving the propeller through a long shaft, an unconventional design that allowed heavy nose-mounted weapons. Armed with a powerful 37mm cannon, the P-39 was devastating at low altitude. However, it lacked a turbo supercharger, limiting its effectiveness at high altitudes where most Western air combat occurred. While the USAAF used it briefly, The aircraft found great success with the Soviet Union. Soviet pilots appreciated its firepower and low-altitude performance, using it effectively on the Eastern Front. The P-39 proved that unconventional designs could still find their place when matched to the right battlefield conditions.